Today, we're going to create you a 3-step content system to capture the best ideas, prioritize them, and then use script writing to 10x them for massive potential. For so many years, I was just trying to come up with random or cool content ideas and then press record and making content that no one really cared about. It wasn't viewer value first. I ended up burning out and giving up. The good news is there is a system. Content becomes strategic, less editing time, and honestly, just a lot easier. This is the 3-step framework. We're gonna go into depth of what it is, why it matters. And by the way, I'm Dave. I have created and sold a 7-figure software business before, and many years of coded systems and software that we use for people like Amazon and Disney. And so I live and breathe the system. And this content system is something that's gonna change everything for you if you wanna launch and grow your own creator and entrepreneur business. All right, so we're going deep. Let's dive in. All right, let's run through high level the whole system and how it saves you a lot of time. Not only tons of editing time, but also saved me from procrastination and burnout. So number 1, place to capture all of your ideas, get creative, and capture viral outlier ideas from others. We'll talk about that later. Step 2, a place to prioritize the best quality ideas, and we're gonna use a unique scoring system. This reduces frustration, mental energy, and burnout, and trying to find ideas constantly on the fly. And you'll always have a list of top performing ideas. 3, a system to write so that you save tons of editing time, make content that hits 10 times harder, that you can batch record and get ahead. Finally, this is how we get content impact and not burnout. Essentially 10x your attention, value, and the impact in your content system should be focused around your niche and your channel. A simple way to think about this is the A to B journey that you're trying to help people with. If you want to create an online business and sell something, that A to B will be your offer. This whole system you can grab, which is always going to be free on the link in the description, along with there's a ton of other epic systems in there, really useful. Anyone can get set up even if you're not techie. I have video tutorials and AI prompts in there too that really are game changers for me. I've seen other systems like this for $100, $200 on Gumroad. So if you've tried content before, especially video, it's really, really hard to be consistent and really time consuming, especially with 9-to-5 life and kids maybe, and most people burn out. Since I created content system, everything really feels way easier and way more laser focused. And the secret we'll talk about towards the end of the video in the bonus section is how to really time block. You're busy with life, you're busy with 9-to-5, and if we apply a time block for prioritizing your ideas and then a time block for actually writing, and everything is going to become easier. But let's start with a place to capture all of your ideas and find viral ideas from others. So how can we make our ideas stand out? We have tens of thousands of thoughts and ideas every single day. So imagine your ideas are a river full of thousands of fish. Well, content system is like a well-crafted fishing net and using the current to automatically catch the biggest and most valuable fish. This content system is a second brain to capture and organize all those ideas. Without a second brain, creators struggle to create novel ideas, make random low-performing content on cool or random ideas, and struggle to stand out. Stress, overload, and burnout trying to manage all the content ideas in your head. For me, I actually ended up working so hard trying to grow my YouTube, trying many platforms for about 10 years. I would think of a cool idea and then really just quickly try to just get up, set up, and record it. Edit forever, like super late nights, 2 a.m. Nothing was on niche. Ideas were random. The algorithm was really confused, and I also grew the wrong audience. And of course, with 9-to-5 life and kids, burnout is really the only end result of this. And it really sucked because building an online freedom business that helps others build your own freedom is my dream for many years. And I was doing content wrong. I needed, and we'll dive into these in a second, number 1, essential first, I needed to decide my niche or my offer. Number 2, I needed a idea capture system. That was my ideas and others, and viral ideas from others that have already performed well. And then number 3, prioritize the best ones to make, a scoring system. So before we dive into how the idea capture system works, here's a simple way to think of your niche or your offer if you're creating a business. It's simply a group of similar people that are stuck at A and they want to get to B. For instance, from an unhappy 9-to-5, A, to B, creating their own online business, being their own boss, and creating true life freedom and fulfillment. So imagine on a dartboard, for example, and whole board is cool things that you like and that you're interested in, and all of the videos and content that you can make. I was creating random content all over the board, throwing darts everywhere. And once you know your A to B journey, it's like you laser in on that one number on the dartboard. You're throwing at that number all the time. That's your content. If it's off niche, we don't throw the dart and we don't create the video. So now you'll be 10 times likely for the algorithm to help you grow the right audience, hit viral, to throw that treble 20 or the bullseye. The best ideas are all of the relatable problems and pain that that person experiences and feels at where they are now. that A. So an awesome way to capture tons of ideas is to capture all the micro problems stuck at A, especially what they're feeling. All of these can become content, videos, and pieces, and even freebies and PDFs and downloads to offer, which is a really great way to build an email list and grow your business. All right, so welcome to my M11 content system. This stands for Momentum 11, getting momentum on social media. Just really quick before we dive in. The number one is about capturing your ideas and research viral outliers so that you've always got an idea list of potential really high viral performing content. Number two is then prioritizing that whole list down, like the fish in the river, down to the top priority ideas. And those are the ones that you're going to really focus on. And number three is scripting and recording. But there's so many other awesome bits in here as well that you can use, like your A to B journey that we talked about. This is about finding your niche, and you can actually open and close these little guys when you download this system. Everything's free, and there's a tutorial in there if you're not sure about how to find your niche. But so here's the whirlwind tour of this section. Here's a section where you can capture ideas. Say I suddenly think of ideas, or a friend said about that setting up their channel, but they're really afraid to get on camera. So you can just capture ideas right here, anytime, anywhere. You can run this system on your phone. Now, number two, this is where it gets really good. And again, there's a really cool tutorial YouTube video in here of how to find viral outliers. And so in the content system here, you can organize your favorite channels that are on your niche into small, medium, and large. And it's really important, because if you're a small channel right now, you want to be finding the outliers that are also small. Now, if you're not sure what an outlier means, obviously you can watch this video for a more in-depth tutorial, but let me show you. So for example, you would go and capture your favorite channels, and you can just paste the channel directly into your content system. Then let's take this one right here. Let's go to the solopreneur channel. I'll do this real fast because it's in that tutorial video right there. But this is how I would find an outlier. And I'm using this extension called vidIQ. If you haven't got that, you can just literally just sort by popular and probably take the top 2 or 3 videos, look at their titles and capture them if it's something that is on your niche. Now, with vidIQ, this means it 100x outperforms the average for the same channel. So this is a small channel. This is a smaller channel, 16,000, but you can see here 57,000 views on this one. So this was an outperformer. Now what I do is copy this. I paste it into my content system right here, choose embed video. And now I actually get the video. I've got the title right there, and I'm going to label this as 100x, so I know it's an outperformer. So this is my research phase. You can spend as much or as little time as you want on this. I recommend time boxing ideas and research as a separate part of your week for just exploring and coming up with your own ideas and researching other viral outperforming videos. Now you have a foundation, a framework of something kind of to follow, a similar title, a similar intro, maybe a similar style for you to do the same. So this is an awesome home for me to capture all the channels that are on my niche and capture title ideas and things that I know performs really well. Let's move on. Here's the gold and the main part of the whole system, which is the content ideas database. So far, we've just quickly captured ideas from others and from ourselves. But as soon as you want to take that idea further and actually put it in your database as something you're going to track, and you may potentially want to create a video around it, I create it in here. And you can just really quickly add a long form idea here by pressing this button. Okay, so let's say we go to Sunny's site here, which is also about creating your own business and entrepreneur. And look at the amount. We've got 3 93x and 3 100x's. So I'm going to capture some of these ideas into the system. Some interesting ideas about studio setup here. I'm just going to take this one, the blueprint to make money from day one on YouTube. So we're going to copy that. I'm going to put that this time into my ideas database. I'm going to put the title in here, and because I know it has an outlier score of 100, I'm going to put that in here. And so we're going to use this when we get to phase 2 and the prioritization system. And I'm going to tell you about this scoring in the next section of how to filter all of your ideas into something that makes sense for the algorithm and is based on the viewer value, not just if we had a cool idea. And so if it comes from someone else that's an outlier, I'm going to capture that right here. So the system will automatically sort by the most popular viral outlier videos for you. You can also label long form, short form. Now, if this is overwhelming, basically, if you've ever used a spreadsheet or Google Sheets or an Excel back in the day, then it's just a table of rows. But you can use this system to start off with some really simple content and then use more of the features as you get used to it. But the main one here is just status. So an idea comes in, it's new, but then we're going to prioritize it. We'll talk about that in the next section. And that is how you're going to filter it through to your planning. Okay, this is now in my research section, in my recording and editing. Again, if you're just making simple content, you can just put the ideas in here, then say, okay, let's record this one. Easy peasy. If you want to prioritize and add more research, you can script write your videos. You can use this whole system to do that. And it's just a big table of ideas that get filtered down below in section 2. So in summaries, we started off knowing our niche, knowing our A to B. Then we have a place to quick capture ideas. We can do this on our phone as well. Now we have a place to capture other channels that are on niche to us and capture their viral ideas as well. So we can get ideas for thumbnails and titles and the way they write their intros and things like that. Then the main part of the system is really capturing these ideas in a table, the content ideas database, so that we can start to give them ratings and prioritize later. The goal here is unleash your creativity to capture unique ideas, research viral performing content outliers from others on your niche. And this fixes procrastination, burnout, and time wasted on poor content ideas. So why is this so important to capture ideas and write them down? So if we zoom out for a minute, I honestly think idea capture and prioritization is the key of protecting your time as a content creator, less stress, and growing your online business or content or brand. From random, poor performing content to strategic bullseyes, ultimately, I believe this is the secret to be able to grow your dream business online. For me, it's the first time I've launched my online business, and growth was actually exactly since I started using systems and got laser focused with content. And I was getting tired from trying to juggle 9-to-5s and randomly making YouTubes on the day where I would just have scrap paper with some bullet points and get really bad or just zero response on YouTube videos. But it also still took a ton of time to make those videos that were very, very random. Knowing I have a list of priority ideas to write and record is huge to me, especially with trying to balance 9-to-5, crazy life, and kids. Protecting your time and your mental energy is essential. Otherwise, we're going to burn out. If we publish a bad idea with bad packaging, we essentially could waste weeks and throwing away that piece of content. The journey to grow online or create an online business is a really, really tough one. So we need a second brain. By the way, you can obviously download the whole content system. It's completely free. And there's also tutorial videos in there. And there's a whole bunch of AI prompts that are really, really massively going to help your content game. I've seen systems like this for $100 to $200 on Gumroad, where you download Notion templates. So we now have a second brain to capture our ideas and all the viral ideas from other people that are already proven. But this next section, how do we prioritize and score the ideas to find the best ones with the most value for our viewers or the ones with most viral potential? How do we zoom right into that number or the bullseye on the dartboard and get crazy, crazy good at aiming? There's a scoring system that I use that changes everything. Section 2, let's go. This is where we take our collection of big ideas from ourselves and proven viral ideas from others. And then we have an easy system to prioritize them down, form content and short form content. And so for that, I made a scoring system. I used to make random ideas. And honestly, it was so frustrating to work so hard editing videos until 2 a.m. in the morning, essentially wasting all of my time because they were random. Just like your favorite sports team wouldn't go out for a big match without a strategy and run around randomly all over the field, we will never win unless we have a strategy. I now only make content that is on niche and high priority, and I get pretty disciplined with myself about that. So essentially on our dartboard, this is the aiming system to shoot for that one number, let's say number 20, on the dartboard, which is your have a really high chance of hitting a treble or a viral bullseye because we're practicing aiming there the whole time, nowhere else. Get disciplined. So let's dive into the scoring system to prioritize. So I use 2 very simple scores in this system. You can use as much and as little as you want of these. You can just have a simple 1 to 5 score. Number 1 is my scoring system, which consists of impact, value, uniqueness, and niche. So in the system, out of 5, you simply rate these as what you think up front before you create the video, and then it will calculate in the system a percentage score for you. Number 2, if the idea has already come from the video that's done really well and you have basically this outlier score, that is one of the most powerful things because it basically tells you that video not only did really well, but it outperformed everything else on that same channel. So when we get these outlier scores for small and medium channels, and we see a massive spike video, we can investigate why and how it did really well. Now, we have to remember our A to B, that all of our ideas should be based on that A to B. So when you score, is this on niche? So we really only want to be creating content that scored 4 or 5 at least on our A to B score, our niche score. The impact, attention, and value can be increased later by editing and writing, and we come to that in part 3. So this is just an initial score for us to filter. The content system will now automatically filter and put all of your top scored ideas right there at the top for you. So now you have a queue of viral, impact, value, and on niche videos for categorized into long, short form content, ready to write and create anytime. And this gives you a massive chance to do really well with viewers and really well with the algorithm. Let's dive into prioritizing. I love this part because for years I would just think, I gotta record a video today. What shall I do? And scramble something on a whiteboard or a bullet list on a piece of scrap of paper, and then set up my camera and start recording. And it's really no wonder my content ended up very random, all over the place, with just random things I was interested in, with zero strategy. The goal here is to filter all of our ideas to the most likely to perform well for the algorithm, and really focus on the value to your niche audience. For me, this fixed procrastination where I'm just constantly forcing myself to come up with ideas on the fly. Now I have a database of ideas. So we always have a queue of top performing ideas, and that allows you to bulk write, bulk record, and bulk prepare your content. And that really is the time saver. And it actually saves me a ton of editing time. I'm doing more time prepping up front so that when I write and record, I know I've got something powerful. When you added all of your ideas to the content database up here, this is the exact same database, but we have a column layout that allows you to really easily organize your content, but also, more to the point, prioritize your content. So all of your incoming ideas are on this column here. These are all your new ideas, and you can see our ratings for your score. We'll talk about that in a second, and your outlier score as well. I'll set maybe 30 minutes in my week to organize my content and prioritize new ideas that come in and start to fill up priority 1 and priority 2. So you can see in my system now, I have ideas that are in planning and research. This one right now, which is right here in recording. And you can click on any of these to open them up either in a side panel or open them up in a full screen, just like a Google Doc. So I can prioritize my shorts, my long forms. So let's scroll through here, and we're looking for something that stands out. This is the one I just added from Sunny, and I can see the outlier score was 100. We'll get to this score in a second. So I'm going to promote this because it's 100 to my priority 1. I'm just going to drag it over there. Another really easy way to do it, just to click on this status right here, and you can set it to priority 2, priority 1, or put it straight into planning and research. That's pretty much it. Now, there's another score in here, which is really important. I'm going to just explain this really briefly here, more detail in the system. This is my way of scoring things. Let's say you don't have an outlier score. This didn't come from someone else's video. I've set up a formula here to give you a score based on 4 really important factors. So let's say we're dealing with this rough title, this rough idea for a video. And so you score each one of these out of 5. How much impact and curiosity and attention? Is it a must watch? Maybe it's trending, or borrows authority from another name. So the little tooltips here will give you tips for each value of the score. Impact and attention. How much attention and impact do you think this will have? So you just score it out of whatever, and you'll start to see your score going up. And how much value to the viewer can you give for this video? How much expertise do you have? So let's say we've got medium expertise, and then how unique is this video? Let's say it's only a 2 because there's tons of other videos like this. And then is it on your niche? Let's say it really wasn't on your niche, we could give it a 1. And so we can see this only got like 50 out of 100, whereas another video, let's say it was 5, 4, and 3 here. We can see this now has a much higher score. And so it's going to jump to the top of our priority here. So that's a real quick summary of the prioritization, but I designed that scoring system, and it's been really powerful for me because now when I'm searching for the actual idea to record, I have this shortlist here in priority 1, and I can just set them to, okay, let's start planning and researching this idea. And they gradually move along the chain here. Why is this so important? So zooming out, ultimately random and average content ideas that I thought I had to publish just for the sake of being consistent got me nowhere. It was exhausting, and eventually I just burnt out thinking, I actually thought I need to get a strategy. I wasted years. So now I have this system and a prioritized list of content. Finally, like, everything in my business is starting to grow. And honestly, prioritizing is one of the biggest keys to not burning out. So if you want to create a dream business online, and obviously using social media, or you're a creator and want to just grow an audience and a brand, having a system to easily score and prioritize content based on high value and high impact online is a massive key to long-term success. And that way, hopefully your viewers will rave about the value. The algorithm will push you because of your attention and impact of your content. So we have the first 2 big pieces of the jigsaw: capturing ideas, prioritizing them. Now the final piece of the jigsaw coming up right now is really about how to 10x, this is the big one, how to 10x the quality, attention, impact, and even the emotion and storytelling of our content. That is script writing, something I didn't know for 40 plus years. Something I thought I was terrible at. At school, I did the worst in English. And so I had this fake belief that I was just terrible at writing and I never could learn how to write well. But last year with people like Dan Koh, I learned about writing frameworks, impact, attention, persuasion. And so if you just press record and ramble like I did for about 7+ years and then spend days trying to edit those videos and get no results, then this is going to change everything. So why write? Why not just press record and try and ramble our way through and hope your video will take off, which I tried for years. Everything online is writing. Writing is a skill anyone can learn. For me, literally, I decided to learn last year at 45 years old. From the belief I was shit at writing. For me, for years, I bullet pointed a video, no intro, scrap of paper, or a notes app, and just tried to do my best, press record. Nothing was prioritized, nothing was strategic, and nothing was optimized. And so there were no results, no stories, no emotion. I burned out due to massive effort, tons of editing time, and really just frustration with nothing, no results. And worse than that, my audience was random and my content was random. And so I knew something had to change. And so last year, January 1st, 2024, I knew I had to learn writing. I'd seen my friend Jess go from a tiny 200 people audience on Instagram to a huge audience, quitting her 9-to-5, changing her whole life, selling epic products, partnering now with some of the biggest entrepreneur names online, like Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. I saw the whole path. We talked almost every day. How did she, when we met, to a product launch where she sold over $100,000 in her first product launch and how her business exploded. And it was her writing. See, she is an epic writer and a creative. She captured emotion. She inspired dreams in her writing, and she stood out. Like everything had so much energy in her writing. She called out the shit, the painful times of life, like related amazingly. And she lays it in on her niche as well, which was creatives and artists wanting to become entrepreneurs. And so people literally like flocked to her, and it was through her writing, whether it was posts, emails, videos, it didn't matter. So last year I decided to go to X on a quest to learn writing. I spent over a year learning. I got Dan Koh's 2-hour writer. I joined his writers bootcamp. I joined another mastermind. Finally, I realized that writing changes everything. It's the first time that I figured out how to create a viral post on X by design, with 30,000+ views. And my email list grew off the back of that. And so finally, after 10 years trying, everything started growing, and writing was the foundation. Something I thought I was terrible, something I thought I could never do. And even for video, especially for video, if we edit our writing, it's super fast. If we edit after we've recorded video in a video editor, it takes 10 times longer. And so I realized we could optimize everything before we press record and really drastically take down our editing time. And so I had this dream of growing my own online business again, like I did 20 years ago in software. And I sold that business with my business partner for over $1 million. And so I wanted to create that freedom again. See, so many of us are stuck in dull 9-to-5s and groundhog life and kind of forgetting. So many of us have lost the sense of who we are, just paying the bills. But yeah, many of us have these big ideas. We just don't believe we can put them into action. So what if we capture them and create an online business on something that is meaningful? And so the tactics of actually doing this for real is writing scripts for content, or you could even voice speak them into your phone to write those scripts. Same thing. Almost like we're crafting our own content movie or adventure. And it kind of feels like that sometimes. And so in a world of increasing mass AI content, generic, boring content with no soul, we have an even greater chance to master writing, humanize, and stand out where AI can't. We add our emotion and our stories. So if we go back to our dartboard analogy, writing is like taking that whole number and the dart itself just grow and explode with fire. It's about maximum impact, attention, value, and the story. This is the secret of how people like Dan Koh and my friends stood out. And honestly, it changed her life, literally, from rock bottom, not knowing how she could keep going, to thriving and helping thousands of others. And the best thing is when you take the time to script and write out your content, you get to also use that writing in emails, in newsletters, in blog posts. You can repost the best parts to X and other platforms as short form content, whether it's text or writing is the foundation. And that's literally Dan Koh's whole system. And so of course I built this directly into the content system. You'll get writing templates for any ideas that you create. And of course, the link for free content system is in the description. So you can just go play with it right now. So, okay, my rant is over and the secret of writing is out. And here's how you can do it in the system. You can also start super simple. Writing was quite overwhelming for me at the beginning, and then scale up as you get better and better at writing and writing framework. I feel like I've got a million miles to go on writing, but this is how I do it. And this is how I did it for this video. I literally scripted out the whole thing. I'm gonna show you that right now. Again, everything in here is the same ideas database, the same table. We just have got different views on each section. The system has automatically filtered two things: the things that are ready to record right now. And so I can open this straight up. This is the one I'm recording right now, and it has insane amounts of details in here and scripting and everything. But also ideas that are to plan, to write, to record, and edit are all in here, and we can organize them by short form, long form, and even set dates on these guys for a calendar. So let's say we want to start writing this one right here. So we click on this, and I'm going to make this full screen. Again, not going to go into detail, but what is really, really cool about the system, I've designed a template here that you can follow, a 4-step template to basically create your whole content piece. Not only that, there's some powerful tutorials in here. Like this one is amazing. I'm using this one myself and learning from this one constantly every video, how to write a killer script. That's by Callaway. Go check his channel out. It's amazing. This video is not going to dig into all that writing expertise, but I'm going to show you the template that you have, which is really, really going to help. So let's say this is the title, Why Should You Start a YouTube Channel? You can go off and research other YouTube videos, paste them in here. You'll get the actual video pasted in. You can research ChatGPT. You can research Perplexity and use AI. This flow, by the way, uses Callaway's flow of the process to write a script. And so it's already proven. He's massively viral. And he always talks about starting with the packaging. You can put your title in and play around with different title ideas and ideas for the thumbnail. So it's really important to nail the title and the promise that the video is going to have so that you can focus on fulfilling it when you outline the video and outperform it. And the goal, at least my goal right now, is how can I outperform the bold claim in the title? And so we have to put a lot of work into our content to actually stand out from others and stand out from AI content. Now we've got the packaging done. Then you can go through and outline each section of your video. Now I've included tables in here to help you, but you don't have to use this. Now you can just start writing out the script here if you need to, but what I'm really focusing on is the outline of each section. So the 3 main ones that Callaway talks about, which I followed in this video, is for each section of your video, what it is, why it's important, and how to do it. If you want to take the script writing further, I think it's really important to capture your stories around this particular point. Spend time in the research phase thinking about emotion, your past stories, your feelings in the past if you've been through this yourself, and go off and research with AI. Just take it as far as you want to. Think about the viewer first and their A to B journey on this particular point. Like, what is the viewer feeling right now, and where do they actually want to get to with this problem? Things like contrarian takes can be amazingly important and powerful. A lot of this came from spending a year learning about writing with people like Dan Cohen, 2-Hour Writer. So these are writing elements that can be really, really useful. But if you're just starting off with the basics, you can write the script here and then gradually start to think about these things. And I think these are the elements that can help take our videos to the next level. Now, if you've got 4 sections in your videos, I can just press Command D and I can do section 1, section 2, section 3. So it could be setup of your channel. You get the idea. You can write as many sections as you want. And I also like to give it a star rating of how powerful it is. So when I start fleshing out, if I feel like the point is not powerful enough, I'll go and do more research. I'll give it a rating of like 1 or 2. And then I know which sections need more research or need more rewriting, need more story, and need more emotion. So I can like really crank up the star rating out of 5. And then hopefully I know I've got a really powerful video. After you've been through the outline of the video, then I come back and I write the script later, and re-editing that script, if you have time, it's totally worth it. It takes extra time, but every re-edit is going to save you time video editing afterwards. And believe me, I've been down that rabbit hole of spending weeks editing one video. So if you can do it in writing right here in the system, hopefully it helps save you hours, potentially days. All right, the intro is one of the most powerful sections of all. So here is a powerful framework that you can use to just follow an example script there from Callaway. So you can just type something similar or make up your own intro. These are the framework elements of how to do it. Your intro is only going to be about 30 to 60 seconds ideally, but it needs to capture attention and curiosity immediately. So there's a nice framework. There's other intro frameworks in the system that you can use as well. The outro, we like to do a recap of the points, and here's a little summary to help you so you can come here and write your outro script, especially if you've got any call to actions. So a link in my description to go and download this element. So you can start to plan your links in description early before you ever start recording. That's it. Now that is a lot, I know, but this system is really, really helping, and you can use as much and as little as you want. Now, if you're a videographer and you want to capture like ideas for B-roll, like location, if you've recorded that thing or not, like what the shot you need is, and description and notes. So simple table there so that you can capture B-roll ideas as well. Maybe it's graphics and overlays using something like Canva, or ideas for your video. I have a system that really also helps the writing part of this, but that's for another video. Or reach out and contact me on the link and we'll go through this together and set you up with a content system customized for you. There's some helper stuff in here too, video tutorials, how to find viral outliers, and here's some other viral intro frameworks you can use from people like Dan Coe, and a tutorial video in there that I created. Okay, you may be thinking this is a lot. It may take a long time, and that may be so, but learning writing for me the last year with greats like Dan Coe, Taylin, Dakota Robertson from X has been the biggest breakthrough. Some of those ghostwriters that quit their 9-to-5 and just made like $500,000. Years ago, I made a mastermind video on my old website, which took me about 2-3 months to edit up. There's so many chops and it did nothing. So what if I put all the editing time of my rambling and moved that time in something a bit more impact, like writing a script? What if my edits were optimized and deleting words and lines that didn't have any impact? Adding emotion and stories before I record so that my edit time is minimal. Writing is the secret. It turns out we can take an average idea even and turn that into content that immediately grabs attention, creates some epic curiosity, holds attention, calls out pain, emotion, things like psychology and persuasion. That's the secret that 10x is the greatest content from the greatest creators. This means for you that your content will be 10x optimized for viewer value and impact, attention and emotion, trust and connection, and storytelling, things like simple metaphor. We can then bulk write 3 to 5 videos in our queue before we even record. Psychology and attention is today's currency online, and we'll talk about that in another video. For 40 years, I said I was shit at writing based on at school being my worst subject. And so I never really opened the door to learn it until I started to figure out how that friend I talked about rocket launched. And it was writing for sure, a powerful and energetic through her writing. Now I understand the power of this stuff, like email marketing, content, short form content. What if we took one random video with viral potential that was written and produced really well, and you only need 1 to 3 of those to explode everything for you? Everything online is grabbing and keeping attention, and that is writing. For me, it took a long time to learn that, but you can start with the basics, which is outline of it, script it, and edit it before you press recording. So zooming out, writing is how to make your content on fire and stand out and maximize quality and attention so the dream that you're trying to build will ultimately fall into place. It's the secret. It's even the secret to writing like a powerful email that may land a massive opportunity for you because you know persuasion, impact, and emotional connection through writing. But talking a lot about viewer value, how can I over deliver in this video? So far, we have a system to capture ideas anywhere, prioritize the best ones so that we always have this queue of top ideas, and then 10x the quality with writing before we press record. There's bonus topics though that I want to quickly add that saved me tons of editing time, and how you can also time block your calendar to use the system so that you can save energy and maximize your focus while doing life and 9-to-5. So let's fly through these real quick because they help me tons. Yeah, but let's talk about the bonus real quick, which is, and I'm constantly adding more and more stuff to this content system that is off the back of what really, really helps change the game for me. So let's look at time. Let's look at a sample where you can time block this. So you can break this down whichever way you want, put it in your calendar. You can even use Notion calendar to remind you. And for instance, I didn't research, I set up blocks for this, but I also capture ideas when I'm walking, capture ideas when I come out the shower. But my specific ideas and research, I'll sit down 30 minutes twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. Prioritization, section 2 here is really quick. Like one time, 20 minutes a week should be good for you. And then the writing is the big one. But the writing is the one that will 10x your content the most and teaches the most about things like persuasion and attention. And the better we get at writing, I really honestly believe our business and our quality of our content will scale the same as our writing. So this is a massive investment for ourselves. So 4 times a week, 45 minutes. I actually really enjoy going to the coffee shop, like getting the headphones on and doing this. So you can make up whatever schedule works for you. Recording and editing obviously still can take a long time, but you're going to have less editing time the more you write and edit. So make up whatever schedule works for you, but here's just a rough one that might help you. And this is inside the content system as well. You can see here, this is about 5-6 hours a week, which if your dream is to create an online creator business or an online brand or scale it and monetize it, create freedom, then as far as I'm concerned, that's a tiny investment. And if you're on the right niche, it should be something that you passionately enjoy anyway. So it shouldn't feel as much like work. Now, if you're still saying I'm too busy, I have something for you. So in the Entrepreneur Freedom newsletter, so every week there's a new article or a new system. And so here's all the articles right here. And here's all the systems. And so you get this content system right here, the complete content system. You get a whole bunch of AI stuff. This is all free. And there's a quiz to score your niche, see how powerful your niche is. There's the idea system, how to capture ideas from your phone. But this guy, the time system, how to steal back 20+ hours a week. And this is actually a full-blown course. This is actually a full-blown course, which is insane. By the end of this mini course, you basically should be saying, I'm never going to say I'm too busy again, because we all know what we can do with our phone Instagram, Facebook, Netflix to optimize our time. And if you're looking at getting 5 or 6 hours back a week, they're right here. And that's just some. Mindset is another massive one. So I love that time system. Go check that out. Let me know what you think. All right, so here's a quick summary of everything we covered in this long, in-depth video, and I'm excited for you to try out the system. Link is in the description. Number 1, we talked about capturing ideas and viral outliers. We went through 2 steps. Essentially, capture your ideas and other people's viral outliers. This is your creativity. And everything should be on your A to B content niche. That's really important. But really, this is the key to protecting your time, less stress, and growing your online business or content brand, and going from random content press and record to strategic content. Number 2, prioritize your ideas into a funnel and create a queue of ideas with massive viral and value potential, which are on niche. And we went through the scoring system, which is viral outliers, viewer value, impact and attention, and is it on niche? The A to B score. This gives us an easy, constant filter for only the best ideas to come through to your production. Random ideas not optimized and scored for value, attention, and viral potential will lead to random and average content. No result, frustration, and burnout. All right, finally, writing scripts, the big one. 10xing, this is about 10xing your video impact, attention, emotion, story to stand out, and saving tons of video editing time. To go from pressing record and rambling and editing tons, burning out, to scripting top priority ideas and making them have big value and impact, because we script them up front. Our chances of our content flying and our whole content dream business becoming a full-time reality just 10x off the back of this. So then finally, components about time blocking for ideas and creativity, time blocking for prioritization of your ideas, and then time blocking the scripting. And so the results of this are getting max focus and treating your content system as important as growing a business, to be able to protect your time and your energy and maximize your focus. Now, I know that was a ton and we are wrapping up right now, but hopefully massive value for you. This helped me out in my business a ton. And if it was overwhelming, just start with the content for ideas and prioritizing, and script writing step by step later to improve one video at a time. And if you want to just dive in, there's videos inside the content system to help you, even as a beginner. Most importantly for me, if you appreciate this and this helped you in any way, please drop a comment and what you'd like to see. And that really also helps me for the algorithm boost myself to help this channel grow. And it's also just massively appreciated. The script for this one took a long time, many hours to write. I'm pretty sure it was worth it. Lots of more videos to come, so subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.